So today I'm gonna make a stuffed chicken breast. Actually, I'm gonna make a couple of them. But I'm using the chicken breast that I cut off the whole chickens that I got for 79 cents a pound and saving some money. Anyways, I like to leave the skin and the bone on just because it makes for a more juicy, flavorful chicken breast. Doesn't mean you need to eat the skin, although if you do it right, it's pretty tasty. I've got these two chicken breasts marinating right now in a light Caesar dressing, and when I get home tonight, I'm going to make these up for you. We're going to stuff them with some delicious vegetables and cheese, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful. So I hope it inspires you to stay with me and come along for this ride. Go down in the description box, check out my Facebook page, go over there and like that if you have a Facebook, and get in on that conversation. Maybe check out my wild tree page, because you know I always use some wild trees somewhere along the way if I can. And all natural, all organic. Maybe go over and decide to become a rep. Get that discount every time you shop. All right, guys, let's go make some beautiful stuffed chicken breast. All right, guys, I'm glad you stayed along for this. I am going to make these delicious stuffed chicken breast. And what I've done here is these two chicken breasts were off of a whole chicken that I cut them off. I showed you in a previous video how I do that. And I leave the bone in and the skin on. I mean, boneless, skinless is fabulous, but it dries out, and this allows the moisture to stay in. I also marinated these all day in a light Caesar salad dressing. So they've got some flavor going on already. It's going to make this even more delicious. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff it with some kale, spinach, mushrooms, and Swiss cheese. Doesn't that sound good? Now this one's kind of big. I don't know if I'll be able to give you a really good visual, but because of being left-handed, let's see if I can do it right-handed. I'm just going to get up under the skin here and take my fillet knife. And we don't want to cut all the way through, but we certainly want to cut into so we can get a pocket here to stuff, put our stuffing, because we want this stuffing. And oh, doesn't that look good? Now that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, let's see. And you can kind of go downward with that, down to the bone area, and even get that better. So now I'm going to change hands and do this other one, because it'll make it easier on me. So, and I use a fillet knife because it just tends to get in there a little bit easier, you know. So now you've got this pocket open on both chicken breasts. I'm going to put that in the sink. Let me rinse my hands really well. Even though I'm going back in there, I want to make sure I get that rinse started. So now what I'm going to do is I've cut up some kale, some spinach, some mushrooms. These are cremini mushrooms. And then I have 2 pieces of light Swiss cheese. And what happens is the Swiss cheese is going to melt and just kind of mold the vegetables together, and they're going to cook down and flavor the meat, and it's just going to be a really good thing. So I'm setting some toothpicks out here just in case I need to get that together. I want a little bit of olive oil, just because the olive oil will help keep the moisture in. And this is kind of that kind of recipe. Don't need a lot. I want a little bit on the outside as well as the inside so we can season it, even though it's got a lot of seasoning. So let's get this first one. And this is a pretty big one. I'll get this out of the way and get you where you can really see it. We're going to stuff some mushrooms in here, and I want to make sure I can still, you know, fold it over, but I really want to get a lot of them in there because they're going to cook down. And so, whoops, dropping stuff. Okay, a little bit of spinach. And spinach is so good with some kale. And I sneak kale in, you know that, and I'm actually going to do a beautiful kale soup is coming up. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that, because you're going to miss out if you don't. And then I take this little piece of cheese here. It's not a lot. And I'm going to just tear it up a little bit, just because I've got to now make this all fit somehow into this chicken breast. And what's nice is your Your skin is going to help hold this all together, as well as the meat. So we're just going to take a toothpick and run that right through there. Usually takes about 3. Now you could put ham or bacon or prosciutto or any kind of other meat product. And look how pretty. You're really creating a pretty presentation for whoever you're serving as well. So again, we've got the olive oil in. We're gonna grab some cremini. And I don't mind if they're overstuffed because we love it. All right, some spinach and some kale. And this, the kale soup that I have coming up goes delicious with these chicken breasts. It's all you really need for a meal. Actually, the soup by itself is really a meal, but it's really good if you want a little extra protein. So again, now we got to get this cheese in here. And we'll just, and it really, the cheese kind of melts down, and as the vegetables let loose of their own moisture, it really does a nice job. So now we're getting ready to season, and I've brushed this, or I've got olive oil on there, and now all we want to do is get our seasoning on. And the olive oil is more or less, it adds a little bit of flavor, but it's also to help the seasoning stick. So I've got cracked Himalayan pink salt, and just, you don't need much. It's not a heavy sodium kind of a salt. Fresh cracked black pepper, and I do this ahead of time in my coffee grinder that's reserved for spices, or my spice grinder as it were. Okay, and then I also want some garlic. Now you could put sliced garlic on the inside if you wanted to, and kind of let it roast along with the chicken. But we had it in quite a bit of garlic today because of the marinade, and that marinated all day, so about 7 hours that was in a marinade. And again, it was just a light Caesar dressing. So this is going into an oven, 375 degrees, until these come up to temperature and they're just moist and juicy, and you're ready to have your meal. Have this alongside a salad, or like I said, a kale soup, and it'll just be delicious. I truly hope that it inspires you to stay with me and see what they come out like. So, okay, let's go put them in the oven. Right, so you know I'm ready to have a bite of this. Look how beautiful that is. It is absolutely delicious all the way around. We got our stuffing, and so what you want to do, I've got my fork and my knife here. You want to go ahead and take those toothpicks out, and they should pop right out, honestly. And I think we put 3 in each. Yeah, maybe not. Anyway, so we get rid of the toothpicks. It smells amazing. I can actually smell the kale, and it's almost like it got roasted there on the edge. So I'm just going to cut down into this. And look how beautiful that is. And that hasn't got any of the cheese or anything yet. Oh my gosh. It's super moist and juicy. And you can pull that skin off, but I don't mind if it's got a little bit of fat to it. So here's the finished product. We've got a little stuffed chicken breast there. Absolutely wonderful. Take a bite of that. You got mushroom and kale and cheese and spinach. That is absolutely outstanding. I don't care who you are. That is delicious.
The light Swiss cheese adds a little creamy texture and kind of binds it all together, but the mushrooms and spinach and kale are absolutely wonderful. I truly hope this inspires you to try something new. I mean, this is a great way to dress up a chicken breast and have this next to a salad for dinner, or next to a couple roasted vegetables, or, you know what, slice it up onto your salad. Doesn't matter how you do it, but this is great if you're trying to eat a little bit lighter, and you could slice this up and make sandwiches if you wanted to. So I truly hope it inspires you. I hope that it brings you back, because I've got some really delicious recipe ideas that I'm wanting to share with you. And you know what? As always, guys, go visit my Facebook. Maybe go over to Wild Tree, visit what I got going on over there, and check out some free recipes. And absolutely come back next time. All right, guys.